Alright, in today's video I was showing you a really good setup for Arcane Library. As you can see, this is unranked, but I don't use mods or anything, so it is legit. As you can see here, I am the 6th, or if you're not counting these top two, the 4th highest scoring player on the map. So I'll show you the setup that me and my friend came up with. My friend being number 12 on the leaderboard here. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into Arcane Library. You'll need several defenders for this actually. So it is further ado. You'll need Knight, or Countess I should say. None, I don't know, I can't remember what. Basically, you want like a builder for the Squire, a builder for the Monk. You'll want perhaps 2 Jesters, a Summoner, and a Series EV. You want to start off as your builder Knight. We'll go for Insane and Hardcore mode because of course. Now the rewards for this level are quite good. You can get some alright decent armor from the end of this level, so it's always worth. It's a good starting point for getting armor and weapons and stuff. You get all kinds of good stuff, and I'll show you like the kind of loot that I get from this. You can plug in additional controllers and all that to get more loot and more levels of characters, but I'm not going to be doing that this video. They easily could, and that's what I normally do. I plug in 2 controllers to get triple the loot. What you want to do is you want to start off by making walls in specific places, namely these places. Now I'll talk about what happens if you're a lower level and you can't really afford to place all the auras in the walls. That comes more in later on. It appears to be everywhere. So next thing I do is change to my monk builder. I'd like to place my aura right about here right now. Now, the Squire builder is spec'd for huge health. So as you can see, the health on this wall is quite high. And this is spec'd for aura range. On the first round, I play as this guy, Random Clown, because he's got a genie, so he's spec'd for getting, like, harvesting loads of mana. This first round is a bit hectic, because you need to just keep them off the walls. That's the main focus. Get a bunch of mana, ditch it in corners. You need to be ditching the mana in the corners. You want as much mana as possible for this next round. I'm going to try getting it all set up in one wave here, so it's literally going to take all my build time. Right, now I need to get over here fast where the forge is going to be. I want to do the summoner first because it takes the longest. I'm being pretty silent here because I'm just trying to race around actually getting everything into position. But as you can see, I'm basically just reinforcing the walls with these minions. I know that you can move them around, but this strategy doesn't use that sort of feature. It's more or less just place the minions. Now, I used all my minion units, so now I'll get back to the forge. Drop mana. Swap for monk. Get my other auras in place real quick before switching to EV and getting the buff beams in place. I'm not caring about the buff beams being the maximum size they can be because, well, I don't have much time to actually do that. As you can see, I only have 20 seconds left, so I am going to make it. At least I hope so. Now I have 6 defense units spare, which is fine. Now I need to switch to my main DPS character. Now the first thing you want to be doing is upgrading your buff beams. So you need upgrading for this strategy to be truly effective. Probably could have done another round as a clown, but I think you can't drag mana past these doorways here, so there's always that. I basically have all the defenses I need set up, so I'm not too worried about anything else at this point. Now the defenses are a bit damaged, but I can just roll heal allies to fix that up. use that mana. Alright. I'm bad. Could have done that much faster, but whatever. Also, I should be avoiding damage if you want higher score, because you get 1.3 times score if you take no damage to your hero. So on that score that I showed you, it was literally with this setup, but no damage to the crystal or my player. I was also actively out there dealing with the enemies. I now have enough to upgrade that buff beam. I have one more buff beam to upgrade. I can upgrade other defenses if I want, but at my stage it's not necessarily required, but it might be for you. As I was saying actually earlier, with if you can't play, if your auras aren't big enough, what you actually do instead is you'll end up using, like, say, these instead of having a wall here, you have an ogre here as the wall. And like instead of having a wall here, the orc will be the wall. And in several places like that. Now it's not ideal, but it can be done. That's the important part. So if you don't have enough, like if you need to like split an aura down into 2 auras, you'd get rid of one of the walls and just use the minion as the wall. I see not a lot of enemies go anywhere. Because when you get your aura size big enough, you can just use Ensnare, Strength Drain, and Electric Aura on top of each other, and it will basically slow and electrocute everything, even the enemies that are resistant to poison and electricity. I have tried putting like the new Hermit Tower here in the middle, but it doesn't really do too much. I can show that off if you really want. Well, I probably will actually show that off because, well, the Hermit's new. But I don't find that generally to be useful whatsoever because the buff beam's already doing the range extending part of the job. Just to show that, you know. Yeah, it looks like it reaches all of them. This level isn't bad XP either. I mean, it's not the best XP, but it's also not bad XP. It's decent XP. As I said, it's mainly for the equipment, because it's a good place to get some good starter gear for your characters going into the late game. It's got its own accessory set, which I'm not sure how important it is, but it does drop like Mythic, Ultimate, and all that gear at like super high levels. It does give good Mythic armor, so if you're looking for Mythic armor, this is also a place where you can get it. And I mean good Mythic armor, not just like ones with a few levels. These ones have hundreds of levels. You actually see this thing has a very negligible effect on the auras when it's already boosted by the buff beam. It just isn't really worth it. What I've read, the Hermit's much better as like a poison DPS character, or not poison DPS, a poison builder character, where his poison towers do a lot of DPS. Instead of having him as a passive buff Hermit, but you know. It's good to try things out with these new characters. Probably get a higher score on this level if I had a third controller to plug in. So when I got my high score, I was doing it with 2 AFK controller players sat over there. So I had like 3 players worth of enemies instead of just the 1 person's worth of enemies. I'm definitely no professional at this game. There probably are things I could be doing better, but this setup has always worked for me, and I feel like it's a good setup. I think when I was lower level, my aura would be, instead of this aura being where it would be like here and over there. And the aura on the left, instead of being in the middle there, it'd be a bit closer to the door on one side and a bit closer to this door on another side. So obviously I have to get my aura range up, and using the series EV beams can obviously get a lot more mileage out of your range, because series EV buff beam is just absolutely amazing. One of the best towers in the game, I'd say. Like, absolutely amazing. Stuff doesn't even come close. With that said, it does have the weakness of, if it gets destroyed, all the towers on it gets destroyed, so just make sure it's out of harm's way. But overall, buff beams are absolutely amazing. I always want them to be part of your setup. As you see right now, the entire map's pretty much covered in my aura. I'll do a quick repair. This is super easy stuff. Most of the enemies that end up dead by the time I actually get there. Most of them are dead before they leave the spawn, which is actually quite detrimental to mana, but the thing is, I don't want them to get in too close to the crystal. Plus my auras are just absolutely huge anyway, so it's like keeping it away from the doors would be more difficult than I think it's worth. Besides, all mana at the end of the round will go on the floor, goes to your mana pool anyway, so in a way it's just a light boost for that, even though you don't really need that, because the majority of mana is going to be get from selling equipment that you don't want. There's a mythical helmet there, but it's probably not good. I'll check it out anyway. I didn't even know mythicals would come out of this chest here. Yeah, you see, like that's like only got 38 levels and really low stats as compared to the one that I'm currently wearing, which has 60 levels. And I still need to work on, but It's got some good stats, so I can start leveling up its armor. Well, I can level up its armor instead of its stats. Because you want to level up the armor for Nightmare mode. Or so I've heard. Just gonna need those damage resistances. So the main important thing is having hundreds of levels to focus on leveling your damage resistance for. Because that's what's going to keep you alive at the hardest difficulty. The fact that it has alright stats to go with it is also a very, very good thing. Random shit. This is the final wave, so what I'm trying to show here is almost complete. Defenses can pretty much handle themselves. I have to run around shooting stuff anyway. I mean, I just used my AoE gun. I haven't actually used my higher DPS gun. It's only got weapons that time and no armor, which isn't that ideal, but yeah. As you can see, my score is only like 6-7 million right now, so it's not the highest that it's been, as you can see. But at the same time, it's just an example. Also, all those items are actually terrible. So
Thank you for your business.
they got sold. If you want to see some of the items I actually did get from here, let's go for, say, this leather armor. Get some alright stuff. You can even get Transcendence occasionally. It's mainly about getting starter mythical armor. I even have a matching set of Transcendent leather here. You see these armors can go up like 200 levels. So there's quite a lot that can be done. If I go for weapons, for example, as you can see, you get like level 300 plus ultimates. And occasionally ultimate plus. Like the majority of this gear, if not all of it, comes from Arcane Library. These pets too, you can get some alright pets from there. Not great pets though. And these are the accessories you get, barring that brooch. The brooch isn't from this level, but it's from a different one. But the fedoras and glasses, you get them from this level. The fedoras were more of a recent addition than the glasses. You only used to get the glasses, but now you get fedoras as well. Accessories aren't that important, but, or to my knowledge, they aren't that important because they take a lot to level up and they don't really do much. But when you have both the fedora and glasses attached, you get this weird, like, magical floating shield thing. I don't know if it actually shields you or anything, but yeah, it just sits back there. Yeah. That's about it for this video. Hope you have a good day.